Hi everybody. My video from yesterday. A guy asked me to show the weld brazing. I'm going to go over that. This is a brazing technique called Everdur. Okay, they don't teach this in welding schools. There's been so many advances to welding that this is a dying art. This was used mainly for the old heater duct that you'd find in the buildings. You'd see the heater ducts, and then they'd have this beautiful gold weld at the bottom of the ducts, where they join the ducts together to put a flange. And I'm not promoting or any of that stuff. I mean, it's just something that I think ought to stay around. There's so much more control doing it this way than using oxyacetylene torch, and wearability. The wearability of a silicon bronze rod is outstanding. The tensile strength for a weld is not there, but say if you're working on, I'm going to throw like the old 225 excavators. You had your metal tubes that run up the stick under the crown. And had clamps, hold your hydraulic tubes in. Over years they wear. Clamps get broke, get bent. You know, and not everybody has the ability to replace everything. If you have a place where it's chafing, the metal tube's chafing, you lay some silicon bronze on it. This stuff, it gets extremely slippery. Like I said, the wearability properties of this stuff is fantastic. Reason my thought on it, you don't see it anymore, is promote the sale on welders. I mean, it sounds stupid, but a lot of the stuff that you can do with this was replaced with a TIG welder. Pretty much anybody with a DC welder can do this. All you need is some carbon gouge rods and silicon bronze, and they promote this sale for TIG. You can't use silicon bronze that you would use in an oxyacetylene setup. There's too much zinc in it. As soon as it hits the arc, it's going to pop. There's too much brass and zinc. Silicon bronze in the TIG process is a lot more pure. You don't need any kind of neutralizing gas. The carbon from the carbon rod is your gas, basically your shielding gas. Like I said, and one of the steps to put it above oxyacetylene brazing is oxyacetylene brazing. You have so much heat, you're heating so much of an area up, and you're using a carbon gouge rod. I mean, you grind that thing to a point. It's pretty much pinpoint accuracy, and it welds and flows so nice. You can do everything but aluminum with this. I mean, stainless is a bit tricky. Stainless is a giant heat sink, but stainless is very doable with it. I've done a lot of stainless with it. It's a braze, so you don't want to melt your parent metal, which that's where it gets tricky with stainless, because of the heat absorption on stainless is so quick. You'll know if you get parent metal in it, because you'll look at your braze and you'll see a crack in the middle of it, and you just grind it out. Either speed up your movements or turn down your amperage, and you don't need to use very high amps. Like I said, I'm not promoting any welders or anything. I'm using, this is going to be 36 amps, so it's very low amperage, and like I said, it's just pinpoint precise heat, It's fantastic to work with. It's great for doing hydraulic lines, the metal tubes on hydraulic lines. Other than that, I'll show you. I got a little bit more light on it because my wife said that you need more light so that people could see what you're doing. I just threw that together yesterday because I had stuff laying around. And you don't need much carbon rod either, just one of your old scraps. So, let me just show you real quick. When you strike your arc, you pretty much strike it right on your filler metal. You strike it on your parent metal, but you put your filler metal in quickly, and you just follow it through. Let me stand up to do it. I like standing when I work for some reason. And my arms are floating, but let's see what it does. Now the restarts of this stuff is fantastic. You just get set up, lay it back in. Now you'll have a sooty coating on the top of it. Let that cool down. And that's because you're using the carbon, you're going to have the sooty coating. But that's, that's your shielding gas. And you can see it starts working its way off. Come on, focus on it. Put my finger there, see if it'll focus on my finger. But it's a fantastic weld. Now, if you stabilize your arms, of course, you can get it so that it's a lot more smoother. But yeah, that's called Everdur. You have a small chance of finding it on your computer. Like I said, it's a dying breed, and it's just because my thoughts on it is just because they wanted you to go out and purchase a $2,000 welder. When 20 bucks buys you a pound of, actually it's less than 20 bucks, but it's not by much. 20 bucks buys you a pound of silicone bronze for TIG. And a pound will last you a very long time. And you just use your carbon gouge rods. It doesn't matter what the thickness is. You're going to put them on the grinder and clean them up. And there's actually an old trick how I was taught. You don't need a carbon gouge rod. All you need is a number 2 pencil. And you can split the wood off the number 2 pencil. Use the graphite center. And you take a piece of wire, 12 gauge wire, whatever. Strip the wire and you get 1 strand of copper. Wrap it around the graphite and set that copper in your clamp on your electrode. and it will transfer the electricity through the graphite of the pencil, and you can Everdur with it. So even if you don't have carbon gouge rods, there's another way to do it. Some cheaper brand pencils have impurities in them. Sometimes you go to do it and the graphite will poof, pop and blow all apart. But yeah, that is if you're in dire need, you can try that, and sometimes that works. But like I said, you have to use silicone bronze for TIG. Can't use the stuff for oxyacetylene. You'll know if you got the right stuff because it'll lay out perfect, or it's just going to pop and blow off. And that's just because of the zinc. But, all right, everybody. You have a good day. See ya.